the internet has everybody thinking you're not gonna be able to go on this road without being aired down. In reality, you can get a lot of traction driving it correctly aired up. It's just a bumpier ride. If you make it to the top without harming the vehicle, it's still a win. That's the trick to almost every hill climb.
Let's do it.
You can go to 4 low here. Okay.
Cool.
I know what the trucks can do. I've had so many vehicles out over the 30 years I've been doing this. I know what your vehicles can do. You are the variable. So I need to see how you drive to help you improve your driving abilities. And it doesn't matter how often or how long you've been off-roading. You can always improve. Everybody can always improve. I can see where you're at as a driver with comfort of that vehicle. Because ideally what we want to do is merge your skills with the vehicle's capabilities, and then you'll be able to take that far. But if you fight the vehicle, it's going to fight back.
I don't know what my driving skills are, and I don't know what the vehicle can do.
So this one at the top, looking this way, is really nice. There's a little bit of shadow on it right now. But this, you see what it is. It gets a little rockier up towards the top, and it's not that difficult of a trail. Just so starting out, you can really feel what the Bronco can do. But if you want to, it's up to you whether you air down now before we go up it or air down afterwards. I usually, when I'm teaching beginners, I usually let everybody stay aired up for a little bit, because the internet has everybody thinking you're not going to be able to go on this road without being aired down. In reality, you can get a lot of traction driving it correctly aired up. It's just a bumpier ride. So on green trails, it's a bumpier ride being aired up. Airing down gives you a different feel. So I always recommend everybody do a couple obstacles aired up, and then we'll stop and air you down so you feel the difference.
Yeah, let's do it. Any tips for this one?
This is what I always suggest with a hill like this. The first thing you want to look for is anything that's going to make contact with the vehicle anywhere but the tread of the tires. So anything that's going to hit a skid plate, an A-arm, anything, you want to avoid those. And the old adage of put your tire on the largest rock, the problem with that is when you come down off the other side, you could catch your undercarriage. So I just say put the tread of the tire on any of the obstacles. That's the only part you want touching. If you make it up this with only touching the tread of the tire, you did it great. And even if you make it to the top without harming the vehicle, it's still a win. So keep that in mind. No matter how graceful or ungraceful it is, if you make it to the top without harming you or the vehicle, it's a win. So as you drive this, you're scanning ahead, looking for any obstacles that'll make contact with the vehicle. So you're looking for that to pick and choose your path. But your driving style, slow, steady, continuous motion. If you stop and then get back on the throttle, you're gonna spin in this stuff.
Okay.
So if you stop and get back on the throttle, it's gonna spin. If you hesitate, where you go up and you lightly let off the throttle till it pauses and then get right back on it, you're gonna spin. If you hit a rock that sticks up this high, you're gonna spin. So slow, steady, continuous motion while watching for obstacles. That's the trick to almost every hill climb. Now, how fast you need to go depends on how loose it is. This one, you can just crawl your way up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go up at first, so you'll be able to see my pace and how fast I go, and then you'll be able to come up.
All right.
All right. So I'll go up at first, and the main thing is, if you sit high enough, you'll be able to clear the obstacles. Your lower control arm brackets in the rear hang down pretty low, and that's always an Achilles heel with the Broncos and Jeeps, because that hangs down. And if you slightly misjudge an obstacle, it's right there. It's gonna grab. So it may touch if a rock stands up. And what, just to give you an idea, it's like a rock like this. You're driving up and your tire hits this side of it. See how it kicks up?
Yep.
And that'll kick up and hit that right there. So if the inside of your tire catches it like right here, it'll go stand up, hit that lower control arm bracket, fall down. And that's why those brackets are important. So watching and looking for stuff like that is important. But yeah, slow, steady, continuous motion.
Let's do it.
Got all that, Adam?
All right, so I heard don't let go of the throttle.
Correct.
That's all.
And the slower you go, the more you can focus on the terrain. The faster you go, the faster you have to read things. So I always go nice and slow. Continuous motion like this is all that is needed to keep the vehicle moving. Don't have any locking differentials down. You don't need them for this. So just try driving it off of skill. Because if you're using the lockers all the time to drive, you're not using your skills. You're using the technology to compensate for the skills. Use your skills first, then use lockers to assist your skills when needed. And I had you put it into 4 low right away, and the reason for that is the power, control, torque, all that stuff together. Now, the ego of this hobby, it's a motorsport, so there's always ego involved. People will come out and be like, I want to drive in 2-wheel drive till I get to the obstacle, then I'll put it in 4-wheel drive. Why? All this little chatter you're driving over right now, all these small rocks, is just shaking and vibrating everything in your drivetrain. So all your U-joints, your ball joints, your tie rods, they're all getting the abuse. Being able to control that chatter makes the vehicle last longer. Also, the #1 killer of transmissions is making them overheat.
Is he making it?
Yeah. Stop it. Still climb. Success. When you go down, I think it's just going down slow.
What? Go down? Wait, there's not another path down?
No.
It seems way more dangerous.
Just because you can make it down the road without hitting something doesn't mean you're automatically a good driver. It just means you can avoid things. Out here, there's so much that goes into the driving skill. It actually makes you a better on-road driver, but on-road driving skills don't really transfer over here very well, and there's a lot of bad on-road habits that hurt you off-road. And we're going to get into that as we go through a lot of this stuff. But here, being able to regulate that throttle and get comfortable where that throttle point is as you come up here, just keep it moving is important.
It felt good.
Good.
Like I felt comfortable.
Good. Look good.
Nice.
Good. Now that you know where that sweet spot is, as you're going, if it's a spot where you're aggressively spinning, back off. If it's a spot where you're spinning and you can give it a little more without it being a shock load, you can. It's just feeling that spot.
The easiest way to overheat a transmission is to make it work hard. That's why you see a lot of vehicles catch fire on the beach, because they're trying to drive in 2-wheel drive or 4 high, but they're pushing 6 to 8 inches of sand. So you're always having that higher RPM, that transmission is working harder to move the vehicle forward. So it sends the heat to the transmission. When that gets hot, it starts to burn up the transmission. Same thing out here, driving over 6-inch rocks. Everyone you touch, you have to give it more throttle to get over. The more throttle you have to give the vehicle to drive over something, the more it works the transmission. Where 4 low, what it does is it changes the gearing through the transfer case to give you a better crawl ratio, so you crawl over the obstacles easier, which helps preserve and protect the vehicle. So why wouldn't you just go to 4 low right away? But people argue with that because they want to get to the obstacle 30 seconds faster than somebody else. Because it's about conquering things to the average person. 4-wheeling should be about enjoying places you've never been before, places you don't normally get to go. Enjoy the company, enjoy the vehicle, enjoy the terrain. The more you do that, the longer you're going to last in this hobby.
Is my transmission going to burn up today?
So using 4 low, going at 5, 10, 15 miles an hour is going to preserve the vehicle longer, which in turn you don't have to put as much money and maintenance into the vehicle, which makes you appreciate it and it lasts longer. So anytime you're going 15 miles an hour or less through varied terrain, just go to 4 low. 4 high is designed more for street driving with snow or dirt roads, or you're in your yard, don't want to spin a tire. That's the stuff 4 high is designed for. 4 low, if you're going off-roading and you're staying below 15, 20 miles an hour, just go to 4 low. Save the vehicle.
Save the vehicle, Lenny.
My goal is to keep it in one piece. It's interesting because you would think you're looking more at the rocks when you're going up, but you're not. You're looking more at the road when you're going down.
Oh yeah.
And it's much scarier because you're just at any point you could just go straight down. Oh, I want to hit that one, but I'll get stuck.